and I find out that Brian Chesky is single and I can like stay in his house.
There she
have
goes.
you ever?
There you go.
Right to the relationship, Brian. You don't have to be feel pressured.
No, but we've never talked about this.
He just got here.
Have you ever?
Her and her husband have tried to set me up before, so
I'm very invested in Brian's love life. But so you've never met anybody that way? Have you found?
No.
She also said she would never have a Trump supporter on her podcast. She'd be just too disgusted to have a Trump supporter on her podcast.
That's not surprising.
But I'll go first. What was the girl? Aisha Curry came out and said the same thing, like, oh, Steph Curry get too much attention. She want more attention, this and that. For me, for Michelle Obama, like, she been called a man. You Republicans love to be like, oh, she's the man, Slim. What do y'all call her? Whatever y'all call her.
Big Mike.
Big Mike, yeah.
Big Mike.
So, I mean, she's showing her feminine side, like, hey, I like other men, like this and that. To me, she already had the top guy. She was with the president of the United States. So, and they've been together so long. I don't think Obama is tripping over her saying that. So I think it's on the guy. If the guy feels some type of way, then if Obama said come out and he's upset about it, then I'll say, okay, she was wrong. But if he don't have an issue with it, I don't got an issue with it.
So do you think they just been married so long, the kids out the house, they just sleep in separate bedrooms and it kind of like it is what it is? We just gonna ride this thing on out?
At this point, probably. I mean, when you're the president, you super busy. Like, you know, they come in looking regular, then they come out with gray hair.
Mr. Nick.
So I've been watching Michelle Obama from afar the last year or two. And I know she has that new podcast with her and her brother. And it's not doing good at all, right? It's like 50, 60,000 views. Are you kidding me? From someone that has like, I don't know how many Twitter and Facebook, 30, 40, 50 million. Nobody wants to hear what she has to say. It's the same thing when Barack, when his last time we heard about him, when he said, you're not black if you don't vote for Kamala, right? Nobody was listening and everybody attacked him. But she's been complaining a whole lot about her life in the White House those last 8 years, the things that he did, the things she had to go through, what her daughters had to go through. Basically, like it was the worst time of her life, right? Like she liked it better before. That's what it seems like, right? Before he was president, she liked her life before because that's all you hear about her complaining. And then if I'm not mistaken, she wasn't at when Trump got inaugurated and at the funeral when Barack and him were chopping it up. What was the last one? There you go. She wasn't there either. So I don't know. To me, I don't even think it's a big deal because you were president and now you get a divorce. I mean, the regular people, yes, at a certain point they were president. I do feel like they're staying together just because of maybe they were president and what that means. But I wouldn't look at it side-eyed if they got divorced at all. But it seems like she's letting out a lot of stuff that she either didn't like or she was going through when they were married, and especially when he was president. That's what I see.
Yeah, you know, if they do get divorced, it's going to fit a stereotype. I think that's the big reason, too, with them being only black, Obama being the only black president.
And it could be that's why they're holding on.
Yeah, and it'll just show the dysfunction on a big stage. Chris?
I mean, not too much to add on it. I mean, if that's how she feels, that's how she feels at the end of the day. But I mean, at the end of the day, she's building because I work in the venture capital space. I've been keeping up with Michelle for a while. I'm sure she's not sweating it. Her and Steph Curry are actually making this new energy drink together. It's going very well. So I'm sure she's just throwing shit at the wall right now. So not too concerned about what she says at the moment, to be honest.
No surprise, man. I mean, she can't, it is what it is. You know, she's Mike Obama. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, she gonna be concerned about somebody else's sexuality or what they doing. You know, but for her not to want Republicans on her show, I could understand that too. She ain't ready for that smoke. So, you know, we'll just leave it alone.
Did she say Republicans or did she say Trump supporters?
I will pull it up just to be sure.
Okay, because I'm a Republican and I'm not a Trump supporter, so we do exist outside of there. Let's use correct terms here.
You can go ahead to the next one, Vogel. I'm looking for it right now.
Well, I'm just comment on it. It's really a bad look. Like, I don't know why people won't say it. I'm the crazy one that'll say it. It really shows dysfunction. And if you look at like the feminist, womanist agenda with women wanting to do things on their own, that's really what she's pushing. In the sense of you got probably the most popular man on earth that you're married to. Why not start your podcast with him?
Trump supporters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
So that's my thing. Why not show support and start your podcast with him? You went and got your brother, which is, we don't know who he is. That's why it's failing.
We know now.
Yeah. If you would show some type of unity with your husband, because he's the one, and to me, that's what it's about. It's like a competition thing. It's like the fall of Eden in the Bible, where one of the curses of it was women will try to compete with men and never succeed at it. And that's what I'm looking at right now. She should have just went with her husband. But when you're not together, like, to me, that's like hell. That's like hell on earth, is to be with somebody who don't rock with you like that. I don't care if y'all been married 20, 30, 40 years. My grandparents were married 40 years before I met them, and they stuck with each other. They might have argued, did whatever, but they worshiped each other. And it's sad to see that that's not what's going on. To me, it's a bad look on just society, and Black society especially. But that's just my piece, and I will go to.
I agree with you, Vogel. That's what I was saying. She's, you know, that's why she's out there saying all these things about her time in the White House, and that's why she's not out there, you know, with him in certain events. I agree, she's not supporting him, and I don't know if he's just going with it because maybe she wasn't happy in the White House, or maybe he's just giving her room. And a question to Chris is like, she said MAGA supporters, not Republican. You understand that she looks at you the same way because you voted for Trump, whether you're MAGA or not.
I didn't vote for Trump, so that wouldn't matter.
So you're a Republican that voted for?
Yes, I voted for Kamala. So what? So why does that? You just said, cool, I didn't vote for Trump. So what are we arguing about?
No, because you said Republican as if you're a Republican.
I am registered as a Republican.
Okay, so when's the last time you voted for a Republican?
What? Oh, like, do you know how old I am? Do you remember a guy named Mitt Romney? Okay,
so that was the last one you voted for?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Right. So can you show me in the standard operating procedure, right, of both parties, where even if I were to never vote, where does that change your status, right? Because I've heard this argument before. I feel like this is more of an appeal to I don't know what, but yeah, MAGA and Republicans exist separately. The Republican Party was here before MAGA was here. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, and obviously it's not the same Republican Party.
Oh,
I agree. It's not the same Republican Party as, let's say, Bush, to where it is now. The same as like the Democratic Party is not the same as it was with Clinton and what it is now.
Yeah, so I'm not MAGA. I'm a Republican, right? Can you quote me in the law where MAGA is defined? I can show you where Republicans defined that. That's easy.
No, but I mean, when you're saying, like, obviously I don't care who you vote for, but it's a little confusing that you say you're a Republican, but yet you voted for a Democrat. And
okay,
it's not like a Bill Clinton Democrat. It's like a far left Democrat.
Okay, once again, that's your opinion. So am I still a registered Republican or not? I mean, that's fine. Why
not change? Why not change it? Why not change it?
Because I'm an American citizen and I can do what I please when it comes to that.
But it's not about what you have to do or not do.
Well, you said why haven't I
If
changed
I heard
it?
someone,
Because I don't want to.
if I heard someone registered,
Because I don't want to. It's that simple.
Then why not? Then why? Oh, I don't know. When I say to someone I'm a registered Democrat and then I tell them I vote for Trump, that's a little confusing.
Okay, well, continue to be confused. It's called I don't want to because I can do what I want to in this country, especially what I served 6 years to do. There's nothing in the standard operating procedure. I vote for what I believe is policy over party, right? And there's a lot of other people like me. I believe you call me rhinos, right? But all that other stuff. Right. So yeah, be confused. I'm going to continue to exercise, my right to vote as a citizen. Right. And then there's if I deem there's another good Republican down the line, sure, why not?
What is the criteria for a good Republican for you?
You didn't get enough from that whole Israel concept. Would you like me to press you a little bit more?
No, you're not pressing me.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering why you're still perplexed about this. Like, I feel like it's, I voted because for the person that I felt like was better. Like, what's the issue with that?
No,
everybody votes.
What's that?
I said everybody votes based on what they want to. I'm a huge policy guy. And when we
right, but to say you're a registered Republican and you're far left, it doesn't go together.
I'm not far left.
You voted for Kamala, you're far left.
Okay. So what makes Kamala far left? Let's go ahead and talk about it.
Open borders.
Oh, perfect.
Men and women's sports.
Okay, perfect. Give me the legal definition of an open border because we do have one, and that was the last time that happened was 1954, right? Let's not use emotions here. We have a legal definition. Tell me what that is.
What do you mean legal definition? So what are you saying?
We have legal definition of open borders.
So you're saying the last 4 years that Biden was in office, you're saying what? We didn't have an open border.
So you're deflecting again for somebody that claims
I'm not deflecting.
We have a legal definition. We follow the laws in the United States, don't we?
No, we don't follow the laws in the United States. No, we don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, we don't. And that's both parties.
Okay. I personally do my best, and when I get a speeding ticket, I get a speeding ticket.
No, you're talking about civilians. I'm talking about the government and people.
Well, quite literally, we have So the reason why I asked you that is because when you say open borders, you're using something subjective. I'm using something that's actually written in the laws of the United States that we follow. Right? So. Tell me legally what open borders are. We do actually have a definition for this, No.
When you're saying laws in the books and all that stuff that you want to say, you're just trying to use words.
Use legal definitions.
But bottom line is the people that came into these country were not by definition. They were not the definition of the reason they were supposed to be in here.
Okay, well, I'm not asking you for the definition of them. I'm asking you a simple legal term that you should know because you're using it. Open borders has a legal term that's been law for quite some time. 1954, and then they added one provision in 1999, and then it's been.
I don't care what the provisions are.
Okay, then if you don't care, then I'm just not going to answer your question. I'm using the law. Okay, well, I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that party.
You're not part of any party then.
Okay, well, I'm registered as a Republican. So we can move on now, but notice you couldn't answer that one question, so cool.
Because you're talking about stuff that's in the books. Let's talk about what's actually happening.
Don't follow the law? Okay, well, I'm not taking your advice.
No, they didn't follow the law. I'm sorry. Transferring people from place to place, lying about everything.
That's not what I asked you, though. Okay, cool.
But I'm telling you what that party was.
Chris,
I asked you what open borders was, but you can't even.
And I told you what Biden did in the last 4 years.
Okay, well, that's not written in the law.
All right, let me break out for a second. Chris, can you say what the legal definition of open border?
So if we go over to the USC code, open borders, right? And we can find this in 3 different places, but open borders is 3 provisions. No government agencies working within a few hundred miles of the border and no executive branch jurisdiction on the border, right? This was last published on May 12th of 1954, right? So in order to actually have a legal definition of an open border, you cannot have Border Patrol, ICE, anybody there in the executive branch or any part of the government can't have any legal jurisdiction on what happens at the border, right? So if there's laws being passed, if you have Border Patrol agents there, that would already knock out, that wouldn't be the legal definition. And I really like following the laws because I like being a citizen.
All those border patrols, all they did was help escort the people inside, give them phones, and put them in planes. That's
Okay,
what
cool.
Biden used them for.
All
not
right,
to
all right,
enforce.
cool, awesome, it's cool. So once again, right, I'm using the legal definition of open
So
border.
you're saying
we're
there
going
should
to
be
keep
no
going
border,
circular.
nobody's standing, no checkpoints. That's your definition of an open border.
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
United States of America.
No one
We
is gonna
follow the
agree with
laws
that.
here. We
No
follow
one
the
is
laws.
going to agree with that.
Well,
No one
cool.
is gonna
That's
agree
what
with
the
that.
lawmakers, including a lot of
Fine.
conservatives
All right.
back in those days. So you don't agree with your
Nobody
Republican Party,
agrees with that.
that
I'm
including the
sorry.
Republic, exactly,
I'm
including the
sorry. Nobody
Republicans
agrees
that
with that.
right,
Saying there's an open
exactly.
border means. I mean, there's
Notice
guys in the
when
panel.
Republicans wrote that definition,
I mean,
now you don't agree with it.
Slim, Vigor, am I crazy by saying that if we have no border patrol, then that's an open border? Am I crazy for saying that sounds a little out there?
That's what the law of the United States says, which Republicans were in office when they put that.
I don't care
who's
who's
saying
in
that
office.
the Republicans were crazy.
That's
we
not
can move this conversation along, but I gave you the answer already.
Vogel, you want to go to the next topic?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
All right, so we have